See, that happens when you have the mute button on. Let's try it again. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, wherever you're watching from. Your career engineer right here. Don't get anxious, get prepared. Thank you for being a part of today's show. And what we're doing today, we're going to be talking about, and make sure you find me everywhere, tcenow.com. And thanks for watching, TCE Career TV. We're going to be talking about today as we're in this holiday season. But please understand, it's not just about the season, it's about every day that we should do some of these tricks. Well, probably all these tricks, but today we're going to talk about the holiday career boosters for holiday or any day to love. Keyword is love or land that dream job. We're going to get into that today, give some tips and tricks about that, and make sure that as we're talking now in this season and for our next season, all these tips will help us to either love what we're doing or land the new job that will give us what we're looking for. So don't go anywhere. You know how we roll. I will be right back. I told you it don't take long for me to come right back. Again, thank you so much for being a part of our show. And remember, you can find us everywhere. Send your questions or comments to us. TCEnow.com is where you find us, or hit me up on our email, info@TCEnow, to send your questions or comments that we can answer while we're doing a show, or we can create a new show about just that. So we adore your email. So send them on info@TCEnow.com. So today we're talking about keeping it real. The holiday boosters that can help us love or land a job. Again, side note, use this every day, not just the holidays, but we've got a little bit of holiday spirit here in the TCE world. So our focus today, again, so I want to talk about is hitting on what we need to do. But before I even jump into that, remember, hit us up, get our email. Our TCE Career Life and Business News Weekly comes out Friday morning around 8 o'clock, loaded with tips and tricks. So we invite you anywhere in the world, everyone you know, be a part of our subscriber base so you can stay in touch with us after this show and beyond. So here's one of the first things I want to hit to. Y'all know I love to deal with push-ups. So one thing of loving to find a job you love or land a new one, it's all about salesmanship, right? And that's one thing I really think is great to learn from our used car salesmen. I mean, even prior to COVID, if someone you go buy a car, right? Used one, a new one, doesn't that salesperson know everything there is to know about that product? I mean, if we say, I don't like the color green, they'll say, oh, yeah, it comes in other colors, purple or whatever, or green is a fabulous color. What do you mean you don't like it, right? The tires are old. Oh, old tires are the best tires to have. They got some wisdom. They have a comeback for just about everything, right? And they'll get you thinking the thing you think is bad is good. That's good salesmanship. We need to know that in our brands as well, particularly when we're looking for stuff that we love and to land that new job. I mean, how can you sell what you don't know? Do you know your product? Do you know your brand? Do you know your gifts, your talents, all the things that make you wonderful and a great value to the career space? So in order to love something, you got to also know what you want with it. You got to know what you love about. So it's hard to think about, even when we're going to where everybody's using GPS, right? You got your Google Maps and whatever pray tell you use to get where you're going. It's hard for that map to tell you this way, that way, left, right, get on the highway, get off road, if you don't put the destination, right? So you got to know who you are. You've got to have destination conversations with yourself. What do I love? What do I want? Who am I? And that helps us as well to land the job. I mean, it's kind of hard to go for something that you don't really know what it is. Just something to think about. All right. So, what else do we need to do? We definitely have to get that brand ready. Branding is not new. However, branding should be updated from time to time, right? Think of yourself as a career entrepreneur. Think of yourself as a brand, whether you're a W-2 and that's the space you want to rock and roll in. If you're a 1099 person and that's the space you want to rock and roll in. If you want to be an entrepreneur and test your business side of the house, or maybe you want to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, right? But you've got to have your brand ready at a moment's notice. As a retired Navy spouse, my husband did several years in the military. While we were in the military, we had to learn about not getting ready, but being ready, right? It's a total different mindset. Stop getting your brand ready. Get your brand needs to be ready, because at the end of the day, that's what they sell. I mean, if you look at my graphics right here, guess what colors TCE is all about. I mean, from the simplest thing of brand management, I'm all about that navy blue. And I'm all about that gold. So whenever folks see like blue and gold, folks around like, that's TCE colors. That's good branding, right? That's good branding. But also, what are some of the things I often say? You got my push-ups. You have our don't get anxious, get prepared. Even the hat has become part of the brand. It is what it is. Well, you want to make sure your career branding, your online and your offline representation of you is the best that it can be. Yes, the best that it can be. So put your heart and your soul and your treasure into it because it represents you without you opening your mouth. Okay. So, and when we're talking branding, I'll just keep it to the simplest thing: your package, your tech and your touch and your responses. I mean, there's part of this of your branding that you need to know because, if you're going to interview for a job and you want to get that job you love, there'll be questions. People want to know who you are, what your value is, what you're going to bring to the table. So how you respond, the way you respond and share your brand, the way you respond and share your product as part of your branding, how you look. Yes, it's not fair. We know. Now there's all kinds of creative ways to have style and substance. I mean, you can have both, but don't risk more style for less substance. I'm big on substance. You can style your substance up, but please come with what? High value content, if I have to put it in that language, a modern language. So even you, yes, even you as an individual, as you're looking for the thing you love or the job you love or the opportunity that you love to land that right place and space, you've got to come with your package has to look the best it can. I think it should be fabulous, but I'll go for the best it can. Don't like, I'm going to give 15 minutes on this so I can get a six-figure job. Really? I mean, come on, make sure you look the best you can. But your branding is how you put yourself together, but it's also how you put your package together. Resumes still matter. Profiles still matter. What you put out there on the internet matters. So make sure your brand is speaking the value so that the organizations or the places that you love can hear or see, get an idea, okay, what this person is offering fits what we're looking for, and then make that wonderful connection. So if you're struggling in any of those areas down there, get on top of your struggle. That's also a TCE brand. You hear me say it quite a bit. I wish I could have coined this phrase myself. I didn't. It's someone else's, but I love it. But the whole entrepreneurial mindset is so powerful. If you want to be a W-2 still, have a great career, have a career of substance, a career of momentum, it's wonderful. But if you have that business mindset, or let's go even deeper, the entrepreneurial mindset, because that's a little different than the business mindset. Entrepreneurs like just kind of go with it. You've got grit, mojo, moxie. You don't quit. You see a gap, you fill it. If you create, you kind of brainstorm. You'll make a business opportunity of this plant if the market and the conditions are right. Okay, that entrepreneurial spirit, not waiting to be told to do something, going out there making it happen with strategy, but also with fire in the belly. Right, that thing. If you've got that thing, use it in the career space. Don't wait for your bosses to, tell you to do that. I mean, see an opportunity, go for it, right? See an opportunity, go for it. So think of yourself as a career entrepreneur, right? As you're looking for the jobs you love and to land that job. And again, more of what that's about. And not everybody's there. Not everybody's there, and that's okay. But for those of us who kind of got that thing, thinking and acting like a business, seeing how when you put your hands to something in the W-2 space, how it impacts the bottom line. Okay, understanding your role in the vision, understanding your role in the revenue stream. Okay, how important whatever it is that you're doing, from fries to CEO, where it fits in the revenue stream. Thinking and acting like a business, not thinking that what you do is insignificant. Okay, but understanding your part in this big corporate puzzle, and you have a part. And also with looking for what we love, the things that we want to do, make sure you kind of understand how you fit into that love. You know what I'm saying? I love to talk. Go figure that one. So obviously, I found some things to do, even in the W-2 with the 1099, or of course the entrepreneurial spaces. I can do this all day. I mean, hopefully I'm talking with some substance. I think I have some style, but I want to have substance. And I was able to create things that didn't exist. Okay. But able also to fit in areas where there was an opportunity that were in more traditional spaces. So this is what I'm talking about. So am I doing what I love? Yeah, I love to talk. As soon as someone tells me you can't talk somewhere, oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind, right? So that is what we're coming from when we're talking about what we're hitting today. That we have to be able to again, going back to knowing who we are and what we bring, and understanding the sales process. Okay, so the other thing that I want folks to do. If you're, doing this, I'm just looking to the side. I heard some noise. One thing I always want to caution folks with, because everybody thinks things are quick, fast, in a hurry. And that ain't necessarily so. So when you're looking for the right thing for you, okay, the things you love, I mean, the places you want to be, you got to treat your job hunt like a job. Okay, you got to treat the job hunt like a job. I mean, and which means some work. I know folks will say, "I'm losing my focus." That's a real statement. I get it, but you've got to bring that business mindset, that strategy mindset, that again, that moxie, grit, and mojo mindset, while you're looking for that dream. Okay, while you're looking for that dream, that's very important, because if you lose your gas in the process, you can't drive this car. It's going to run on empty. You are the full fuel. You are the fuel, right? So you want to make sure that you're keeping your focus. Find a way to focus. I mean, it's no, I mean that you have to find your way to focus. You got to, if something's important to you and you really want to do this thing, and you really want to do this thing, you've got to find a way to focus. I can't. No one can help you focus more than you. You've got to have a way to focus. So, and if you're finding yourself not focusing on it that much, you might want to figure that out. What is it about that thing that's taking away the focus? Do you want to do this? And do you really, 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 really want to do this? And if you're at a pause, that's okay. But focusing is part of this process. And it can be tough. You got your day job, you got your family, you got all that, and you want to do something new, but focus is the fuel. Okay, focus is the fuel. So you got to make sure you have that. I hit that for a reason. So whoever that was for, take it and grab it because it's really important. Another thing, again, with this whole being the career entrepreneur and things of that nature, this is where some more work comes involved. 11 million jobs in our last report, which is a lot of open positions at the time of me talking to you today. But market development, great skill, just like that salesman with the car. Only you. You need to know the market where you fit. You've got to be able to do market development. That's a great skill for business folks. Any entrepreneur, you have a widget or a service, right? They want to figure out who's in the market, who's going to buy, who's going to sell, who will use, who can I collaborate with, all those kind of great questions. What's the market for what you have to offer? What type of industries? What type of organizations? Um, government entities. If you're into public service, if you're into working for profits or nonprofits, well, what do those look like? What type of market? What's the market that's right for you? That's more research. That's more strategy. That's a job of finding the job you love. So, yes, you can. I'm sure you can pay someone to give you a whole bunch of Google. Here's some people hiring. Go for it. Well, is that your market though? And marketing today also is a little bit deeper, more than again. We got 11 million jobs, so go find the right one for you. But it's deeper than that too, because it's beyond just job you tolerate, the job you love. So, what also should that organization, that sector have that meets what's important for you in terms of corporate culture, in terms of management style, in terms of, I mean, maybe even aesthetics, maybe the atmosphere, the growth potential, the career pathway, um, how they've handled chaos and shifting, not just yesterday, but over time. I mean, there's lots of things to find out if that's the right space for you. And you got to do your research. There is, for define what you love and to do the thing that you really want to do, there is no substitute. You can't, there's no substitute for finding good work. Again, we're hitting this, how do you love or land that dream job? You've got to have, you've got to do the research. There's no way out of that. We don't have to research the old fashioned way like some of us did when I was going to graduate school and my undergrad. I mean, we had to read real books with real hard covers and read tons of journals and make our opinions. Now we can Google stuff. This is true, but you've got to also vet the material. You got to vet the research, right? So that's the hard part. And that's why it takes some time. Okay. But here's a secret sauce for you in case you're not aware, um, as we're looking at our research, let's look at some results. you're looking to land a great new job or to love what you do, look at the, great businesses, people who are doing the right things for the right reason, the right way. Okay, if that's the right, if the right way is very important to you before you work somewhere, make sure you you look at people are making a lot of money in the wrong way. Okay, but there are some people who are very successful in doing it the right way. They're doing the right thing for the right reason, the right way. A lot of us now, when we're at a certain stage in our career path, those things matter. Not for everyone, I get it, but for most of us, those things matter. And if you want to be a part of an organization, a service that those things matter, you got to do your research and find those businesses that are producing great jobs that are successful in what they do and doing it the right thing for the right reason, the right way. That's very important. I have in terms of actions, actions speak louder than talk, right? When we're doing coaching with folks, and I know it is hard because some of my folks will I want you to find 100 places that where you fit, because you've done that research we just talked about, developing your market, doing your research, looking at culture and everything else, the environment, and what you truly knowing who you are and what you really be, but what you really bring. But check out, you should have at least the top 25. I mean, at least. I think you should have more. I truly think you should have more than 25. I do. This is just me. But again, you do your research on what is the company name, or you're doing, you're studying, you're looking at vetted resources to find out company growth and strategy. You're using your LinkedIn, you're using I know here in Virginia, we have a great magazine. There's no relationship here. I'm not endorsed by them or anything, but Virginia Business, I like reading that to see what's happening in my states and places in Virginia Business, and know what's happening, so I can know who's growing, or what's, who's acquired who, or who's coming to this locality, or who's setting up shop here, and who's, those types of things. So in your localities, find those economic centers that can give you some input on market research and market development in your area. I mean, that's the kind of research we have to do. And then doing all that, you find the top 25 places and spaces you want to work for, that you feel these are your dream companies, or this is your dream positions and things of that nature, and start going for it. Now, in our area, love, I do a lot of stuff with our NBC affiliate. They have a pretty cool job board. I was checking it out. But Wavy, if you're in my area, I mean, you can check it out. It's a great job board. I think it's pretty cool for what we do here. But you should also find the niche boards and stuff that's also in your area. Yes, I know y'all love Indeed and all that, and that's great. But there may be some niche boards or something local that really might speak to where you are. Or, of course, nothing wrong with the whole national global search. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But remember, sometimes what you're looking for is like right in your face, and you just don't see it. So these are some tips that you can do to definitely move in the right direction, to find, either love what you're doing and make sure you're in the right places or spaces, or if you're looking at doing something different, to make sure that great dream job that you want to land, that you're doing it still the right way, right? Because how do you know it's the dream job for you if you don't know your dream? A lot of this really starts with us. Yeah, that wasn't even in my notes. That one isn't. But a lot of things do start with you. You got to know who you are and what you bring before you hit off for that dream. So um, that's really all I have for you today. But listen, you all have a great week. Make sure you check us out often right there at tcenow.com. Again, tcenow.com. You can find all of our socials. You can join our community, our TCE networking community. In fact, I invite you to do that. Be a part of our community on a monthly basis or annual, loaded with great high value content, to do a lot of the stuff I just talked about, and to get to hang out with me. I think it'd be kind of cool. I think I'm pretty cool. Boy, was that a vain statement, but it's true. See, it's all about brand, grit, and moxie. So you guys be blessed, stay safe, and remember, don't get anxious. Always get prepared. We'll see you or talk to you next time.